Welcome back to Brothers Talking Sports. Today we're here for NFC West 2025 preview. I'm all here with Ezra today. A little different setup, as you could see. Ez, how we doing today?
Well, for that intro, I feel like an idiot, but we are good.
We are
kind
good.
Of up to the laptop.
So, Ez went back to college. That means I am here by myself today. Shay, we couldn't work something out, so that's okay. He'll be on probably next week. Before we have to go into our NFC West preview, we're not going to talk about Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson. We're not going to talk about any of that. We are going to talk about Ezra. Yo, I'll kick you off real quick, buddy.
Go ahead.
All right. So before we kick any of that off, we're going to start with the bet I placed over here that says Abdul Carter to get 10 sacks in an NFL in this season, $100 for payout of $320. Ezra, what do you think of this bet?
I think it's going to be close. I like the bet just because I think he's quick enough to do it and get it done, but it depends on how the Giants play him and if they are going to let him come off the edge occasionally. Maybe if they only send 3 or they send 5 and he's a free blitzer. If he's up the middle a lot next to Dexty, I don't know how that's going to go just because I think he's going to eventually get manhandled.
I'm telling you right now, this guy is better than Brian Burns. He is almost probably a top 10 pass rusher, very close to it. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is right now. I'm taking Abdul Carter to have 10 plus sacks this season and putting $100 on it. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is. As
I'm agreeing. I think it'll be close though.
So I think Abdul Carter is one of those guys where he's that good. I mean, he's better than Brian Burns. I'm telling you, I've watched this guy play in practice, and I've watched him play against other guys. He is better than Brian Burns. It's impossible to say because Brian Burns is probably like, I don't know, 15, anywhere from about 15 to 20 top 10, pass rushers in the league. But I'm telling you, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Abdul Carter is one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. All right. Let's roll here let's start off with the Arizona Cardinals. Key additions: Josh Sweat, Jacoby Brissett, Calais Campbell, Akeem Davis, Ganthers. The key departures. I did not forget them. There was nobody notable that left the Cardinals this year. So, as thoughts on this?
I feel bad because the other teams in their division are good, just a little bit better than them. They're not a bad team. They're not going to do terrible this year, but I mean, they didn't really add anybody that notable. Like, you got a backup quarterback, Josh Sweat, and Calais Campbell.
Yeah, they didn't do too much this offseason, honestly. They helped upgrade the defensive line, which was needed, and they upgraded a little bit on the defensive side. I think their offense, they think, is going to be okay. Hopefully, Marvin Harrison Jr. can take the second step. Hopefully, Kyler Murray can elevate this offense. They're hoping Trey Burke can hopefully... Trey McBride can boost the offense even more, and this offensive line is compatible for the Arizona Cardinals.
They need to get Trey McBride in the end zone. That's what they need.
Do you have him on your fantasy team, Ezra? That sounds like you have him on your fantasy team.
No, I do not. My draft is in a couple days.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say, it sounds like you have him on your fantasy team. All right, let's continue on.
I mean, it might not be a bad pick. Him and James Conner should have pretty good years.
All right, let's look at the offense here for the Arizona Cardinals. James Conner and Trey Benson, who they drafted last year, could get a lot of touches this year. I think you can almost see a 50-50 split, maybe a 60-40 split. I'm telling you, he's going to get a lot of touches this year. And Trey McBride is their big guy on offense. They've ran the offense through the past couple of years, and you're hoping that he could continue that. Okay, great. We move on here to the defense.
I got nothing. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's listen. I figured that out pretty quickly.
If you want me to glaze Kyler Murray, I could talk about him for 5 minutes, but I didn't think you wanted me to.
This defense actually, I feel, has improved. It's not the worst. It's, I think, going to be in the middle of the pack of the defenses. I'm a little worried about the pass rush, but I think they drafted first round pick Walter Nolan. They got another corner. I mean, they really spent everything on this defense to hopefully build it up this year with Josh Sweat now coming in, Darius Robinson. I think this defense will be a lot better. We'll see what happens this year, but I really expect this defense to be a lot better this year than they were last year, especially up front.
On paper, they should be better. We'll see if guys actually perform and do their job.
All right, let's move on here to the San Francisco 49ers here. Only key addition, Bryce Huff. I don't even know if Bryce Huff will play that much. I mean, he's kind of on the depth chart, but he's the guy they traded for, so I guess he's a key addition. Key departures, Deebo Samuel, Aaron Banks, Tre'Davious Ward, Talanoa Hufanga, and Trey Greenlaw as the players there. Those are a lot of notable names. Those are 5 key starters for the San Francisco 49ers, so I don't know how this is going to play when you get into the regular season and a couple guys go down, because it's always happened with the Niners every year, and now your starters are going down, and now your backups that are trying to play this year are now getting hurt. And I really just worry about the injuries for the San Francisco 49ers. I don't think this team is a bad roster, but I think at the same time you have to look at the backups they have, and I'm a little worried for the San Francisco 49ers if a couple players go down here and there.
And we'll get into it when we look at their physical depth chart, but they don't have depth. They lost a lot and didn't really replace at all.
Yeah, I mean, they really didn't. They didn't add too many players. They didn't. I mean, they added really not notable names out there on the market. So we'll take a look at it now here. At what they got, and again, like I said, I think this is a starting roster that's pretty good, not bad. But again, a couple guys go down here and there. You don't have guys that are stepping up, and that's really key in the NFL. When you go look at the really good football teams in the NFL, the Steelers, the Ravens, the Bills, the Chiefs, they all have really good players that can step up in that spot. The 49ers just don't have that, unfortunately. We move on here to the defense. Mikael Williams, Nick Bosa. Hopefully, the Malachi Williams will be their big star. They're going to hopefully, their second best pass rusher. Drafted Alfred Collins this year as well in the third round. They're going to, actually second round, I think. They're going to pray that, he can help with the inside. They got rid of their inside guys. They've got rid of DeForest Buckner a while ago. They got rid of, who's the other guy they got rid of? Oh, I'm blanking on who they got rid of.
Position.
What?
A position. What position?
Defensive tackle. I'm blanking right now on who they got rid of. Javon Hargrave. I'm sorry. They got rid of Hargrave. He's gone. So listen, again, they're really lacking here on the depth of this team. I just worry about that all around.
And real quick, if you could flip back to the offensive side, my phone just got an ESPN notification from Schefter that Demarcus Robinson has been suspended 3 games for violating the NFL's substance abuse policy.
Well, there you go.
Kyle Shanahan told KNBR.
Wow. Great job breaking news.
Less depth.
Let's go. New Adam Schefter coming. All right, let's move on here to the Los Angeles Rams. Key additions here, Devontae Adams, Poona Ford, Coleman Shelton. Key departures, Cooper Kupp, Jonah Jackson, Bobby Brown, and Demarcus Robinson. I think this is the best roster on paper in this division. The Rams are the best team in this division, just clearly. They have the best quarterback. They got the best weapons. They have a really young, good defense. I think the Rams are going to be a really good team as long as they stay healthy. As long as Matthew Stafford stays really healthy. I think that's the key for this team, because even if Puka goes down, you have Devontae Adams. If Devontae Adams goes down, you have Puka, right? Of course, if they both go down, then you're kind of, looking at a bad situation there. But I really think the Rams, with this young defense and Jared Versk and Brandon Frisk and adding some guys, adding Poona Ford to help with the run game, that is really huge. I think this Rams team will be very viable going into 2025.
I really, really like this team. I think it's their division to lose, which is very surprising when you look at most sports books. They have the 49ers favored to win the division over the Rams, and then Arizona and Seattle, but we'll get into that later. They should win the division. You mentioned it. They got to stay healthy. Matthew Stafford's got to stay healthy. They have a little bit of depth, not a ton. But again, really good young defensive team. They're going to play hard. They have a great coach, great quarterback, 2 really good receivers. Kyron Williams stepped into it last year, played well.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have a bit of a rough schedule looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, we take a look at the offense here. I mean, like I said, there's not a lot of holes. They did get rid of their, right guard? Right guard. I think Jonah Jackson played. So they're going to have to fill in for him, which will be a little tough. But I think at the same time, this is a team that they're really going to bank on. Kyron Williams playing really well. Matthew Stafford staying healthy, I think, is just the biggest thing for them. You know, he was out a little bit last year. He's been out in training camp, nursing those injuries. And I really just hope that he stays healthy because I think they're going to be a really good team if so. Okay, then we move on here to the defense. This defense is really good. This defense has gotten a lot better from where they were just 2 years ago. We went from this defense to really struggling to now having really, really good players everywhere. Cam Curl, Cameron Kitchen, Akilla Witherspoon, you know, a great defensive line up front. Like, this is a real defense with real players on it. This is a really good team.
And Jared Verse last year played out of his mind, hoping he takes that next step and leads his defense. I think they're going to be solid and give every team a run for their money defensively.
Yeah, I mean, the only weakness you're looking at right now is corner, right? They're a little short on corner, but their two corners right now are pretty decent in the NFL, Darius Williams and Akilla Witherspoon. So two really good safeties in Cam Curl and Cameron Kitchens that I really like. I think they're both really good players. So I think this team is going to be a very viable team come January, as long as Matthew Stafford is still healthy. Let's keep rolling here with the Seattle Seahawks here. Key additions to the Seattle Seahawks: Sam Darnold, Cooper Kupp, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Shaquille Griffin. Key departures: Lincoln Tomlinson, Geno Smith, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Dermott Jones, and Noah Fant. As any thoughts on the Seahawks so far?
They lost a lot, but I think they also replaced the necessary holes, and we'll look specifically position by position. It's kind of just going to be, is Sam Darnold's season last year a fluke, and can he play at that level consistently?
Yeah, they added a couple veterans. They're really hoping JNS takes the next step into an elite wide receiver. He was really good last year. They're hoping he could turn into elite. And they're hoping that these corners and the defensive line, you know, with Leonard Williams now adding DeMarcus Lawrence, they're hoping that those two can help this defensive line. And their corners were already good in Tariq Woolen there. So I think this Seattle team is going to be viable. It's really going to come down to how Sam Darnold plays with this football team. He really had a great breakout year last year. We're hoping he can continue that. Well, at least Seattle's hoping they can continue that into 2025. Let's keep rolling here with this offense here. It's the wide receiver core is interesting after getting rid of your 1 and 2 last year to now going to Jackson Jigba and Cooper Kupp. Troy Horton, if he's got to play, I'm a little worried at wide receiver number 3.
I think MVS would play over him.
I think so too, but as it says right now, their tight end's a little weak, and AJ Barner, Elijah Arroyo maybe could get that job. They help trying to build this offensive lineup because this offensive line has struggled the past couple of years. So we're hoping that he can maybe this offensive line, and hopefully their tackles have not been the best. Charles Cross is okay, but we'll see what happens. This defensive line here is their bread and butter. Their team. I mean, they have a really good defense in Malik Willis, Kobe Bryant, Jordan Love, Julian Love, Devin Winters.
Kobe Bryant. Kidding.
Yep, Kobe Bryant has Nick and Memori, who they drafted as well. So they drafted guys, and they drafted some good players too. So Seattle usually does a really good job of drafting well as well. So
I think their defense is going to keep them in a lot of games, and it's going to come down to, can the offense capitalize?
Yeah, I mean that's what a lot of the NFL is a lot of the time. Okay, let's move on here to the record prediction here. Let me type in NFL schedule predictor.
And who do you want to start with first?
Good question, Ezra. Nope, this isn't it. Oh, this is it. Okay. We'll start with the Cardinals first. The first team up. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, I think they beat the Saints week 1. I think they
go back to back.
They win 2. All right, so we'll say lose, loss, win.
Whoa. For what week?
Weeks 5.
Oh, gotcha.
2 wins, 2 losses, and then a win. Colts, I think they'll beat the Colts.
I agree.
Lose to the Packers.
Yep.
Probably lose the next.
Off the bye. Crazy. Oh, come on.
Oh, dude, they're not better than the Cowboys. I mean, maybe they beat the Cowboys that game. All right, we'll give them the Cardinals the win here. We don't have a tiebreaker.
Split with San Francisco or no?
They'll lose to San Francisco.
Yeah, they get swept. I agree with that.
They'll beat Jacksonville.
But then
Loss.
Drop on to Tampa.
Loss.
Yep.
Probably another loss.
Mm-hmm.
They win. Loss, and finish at 7-10. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
We don't have them win a division game.
Which is surprising. But their division's really good.
Their division is really good. I mean, usually the Cardinals might take one from the Niners and maybe start off 3-0, and then they bounce off to some of these other teams. I don't know, but I think 7-10 is just a viable record of where they're going to be this year.
I think their floor is 6 wins, but their ceiling is trying to sneak into a playoff spot.
Yeah. No,
Max.
I mean, listen, they have a favorable schedule. Their schedule isn't that tough, so I do think they could do it, but we'll see. I really think that, you have a couple winnable games on your schedule, so we'll see. It's going to come down to how you play up against your division. I think that's really how it's going to come up against. Okay, let's move on here to the 49ers. So we'll give them 2 wins.
San Francisco.
2 wins
to Arizona.
To Arizona. All right.
I think they lose week 1.
Okay. That's fine. That's fair. They win this one.
Because we know they're going to win 3 in a row.
They won 3 in a row. Okay. Then they got to play the Rams, where I'm going to say they beat the Rams.
Ooh. Okay.
Loss. They lose to Tampa.
Yep.
But they'll beat Atlanta.
Okay.
Lose to the Texans. They'll beat the Giants. They'll
lose to the Rams.
Lose to the Rams. Split. They'll beat the Panthers. They'll beat the Browns.
Yep.
They'll beat
Holy shit, the schedule is easy.
They'll beat the Titans. They'll lose to the Colts.
Beat the Bears and then beat the Seahawks.
And then they'll probably lose to the Seahawks. And we'll give them 12-5. We gave them a very favorite. I mean, they have a very.
Oh, you had them beating Houston?
Yes.
Okay.
You know what? We'll switch it. We'll have them beat Houston, but then beat the lose to Houston and
they're not going 13-4.
No. They'll lose to the Seahawks. They'll beat the Seahawks, but then lose to the Texans.
Okay. So they split their divisional games except
the Cardinals.
Sweeping the Cardinals.
Yeah. And I think, listen, 12 wins is kind of high, but
it is.
Like they could lose to the Falcons, and I could see them losing to we had them losing to the Colts. They could split with the Cardinals too. So we're giving them a couple. I think we're giving them I think the floor is 7 games. They have to win at least 7 games this year.
Well, so they're definitely going to beat the Saints.
I mean, you don't know that, but you would assume them to beat Jacksonville, the Saints, the Browns, Tennessee, the Giants. Yeah. They have 5 easy games, man. Oof.
But even the Giants, isn't that one in New York?
Yeah, it's in New York. I know it's a little tough, but I mean, I would expect the 49ers to win that game.
I agree.
I would expect them to win that game.
Games, if they're on a hot streak, you never know.
All right. Niners are done. Rams. Okay, so we had them beating the Cardinals. Where are the Cardinals games? Bang and bang. We had them splitting the Niners. Which one do we have them winning?
The Rams.
I mean, it doesn't
lost
matter.
In week 5 and won in week 10.
Loss. W. Okay. Texans week 1. I think they beat them.
I agree. They're going to start 2-0.
I think they'll. Yeah, I think they'll win to the Titans and then lose to Philly. They'll beat the Colts. They'll lose.
Yep.
They'll lose to the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
They will beat Jacksonville. beat the Saints, lose to the Seahawks.
I think they win the first one and then lose in week 16.
That's fine. That's fair. And then they lose to the Bucks, beat the Panthers, lose to the Lions, beat the Seahawks, and beat the Falcons to finish 13-4.
God dang! What did I miss?
So I had them losing to the Buccaneers.
Was it beating the Ravens?
Oh, I didn't mean that. Sorry. That was wrong.
Damn.
So I had them losing, going 12-5.
And you think they sweep the Seahawks and win both?
Oh, didn't we say we'd split? Yeah. Hold on.
So it's 11-5. All right.
So 11-6. We have the 40 Rams going.
Is pretty tight with what we had the Niners at.
It's true. That is true. It's kind of crazy.
And then Seattle is going to sweep the Cardinals and split with both the Niners and the Rams, right?
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. So let's go back here and let's do that now to the Seattle Seahawks. So do we have them lose week 1 or win?
I think we had them winning week 1.
Winning week 1, I mean, does it really matter? Win. Loss.
What?
Win. Loss. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Okay. All right. Seahawks and Steelers. I'm going to take the Steelers.
I agree. And then they bounce back and win 2 in a row.
Nice. Okay. Steelers, Seahawks, Bucks, Seahawks. I kind of want to take Seattle in Seattle.
I agree. I think they're going to win in Seattle. If it's in Houston, I'm taking Houston.
Yeah. Washington, we'll take. I want to go a little upset here. I think Tennessee beats them.
Off a loss to the Rams, they're going to go on the road into Tennessee and lose.
Yeah, I could see that.
All right.
I don't know. And we haven't had many upsets, so I said, why don't we throw one?
4-game losing streak?
2-game losing streak.
Well, look at your next 2. You think they're going to... Oh, wait, it's in Seattle.
I think they beat the Vikings. I think they'll beat the Falcons because the Falcons lose always like late games, important games. They'll beat the Colts. Then they beat the Panthers. Are we being generous here?
Yes.
But where are we being generous?
And Darnold.
But where are we being generous? The only game we gave them was the Texans game and the Viking game, but we gave them a loss to Tennessee.
So they're going to beat the Titans. They're going to lose to Houston. They might. No, I don't think they'll lose to Carolina.
Like, I think we gave them a pretty favorable. Like, I don't know. I think that's pretty favorable. I think we have them losing to was the Steelers, Bucks, Washington, Rams, Niners, and they lost to Tennessee one time.
And you really don't think they're going to beat the Falcons? Or they're going to, lose the Falcons?
No, I mean, listen, I think this is a 8 to 11 win team. I think this is the max we could find.
All right. Yeah. So the top 3 teams in this division are going to be within a game or 2.
Yeah. But as if
that's
you
going to be fun.
Yeah, I think it's a really tough division, man. Like, these teams are really good.
I think this is this is this year's NFC North.
I don't know. The NFC North is the top 3 teams are pretty good, even though I think the Bengals are probably a step off this year. But
NFC, not AFC.
AFC North. All right. Let's start off with the... Oh, geez, I didn't change it again. All right, whatever. Let's continue here on to my predictions. I had the Rams 1, Seahawks 2, Niners 3, and Cardinals 4. I don't know.
We talked about the top 3 teams being so close. It might flip in any order for 1, 2, and 3, just because of how hard the Rams' schedule is compared to the Seahawks and the Niners.
Yeah, I think any of these 3 teams can win this division, and it's really up for grabs. And the Cardinals aren't far off from winning this division either. I think they're a really good team that has gotten a lot better, especially over this year, and they're really going to have to rely on Kyler Murray hopefully to explode this offense.
And by no means is this betting advice, but BetMGM has the Seahawks at plus 525 to win the division.
Interesting. That's really interesting that they're that low.
That's the lowest odds.
You know what? They're funny that they're lower than the Cardinals.
The Cardinals are plus 450.
Wow.
I know.
Wow. I guess people don't think Sam Darnold's going to recreate what he did last year, I guess.
I don't think so either, but their schedule is not that hard.
They definitely, the NFC West has the easiest schedule because they have to play the AFC South.
Yeah.
And I think they have to play the NFC South, too. They do. They have to play both of the weakest two divisions. So they have the weakest schedule this year in favor. So that's why we give them a lot of wins. That's why I could see, that's why the Niners, like, when we talk about it, they also have to play a last place schedule. So when we talk about the Niners, there's a reason why we're putting I'm giving the Niners like 12 to 13 wins, because they have this so bad schedule. But again, bad schedules could always turn good. The Giants could be good. Teams that, don't expect to be good could be good. Teams you don't expect to be good can turn bad. And teams that are really good, I think I just said it the right time. I got to get the fuck out of here. Thank you for hopping on. I appreciate all you've done today. Anything else?
Sir. No.
All right. We'll see you next time, and peace out.